Walter Lippmann, Public Opinion. Embark on a journey through the intricate workings of public opinion with Walter Lippmann's groundbreaking book. In an ever-changing, complex world, our understanding is shaped by mental images and indirect opinions constantly being influenced by various sources. Learn about the power of fiction in shaping our beliefs and the critical role of propaganda, stereotypes, and biases in our perceptions. Explore the dynamics of media, politics, and public affairs as Lippmann delves into the mechanics of constructing public opinion and the challenges of organizing these opinions for the greater good.
The power of fictitious order. In a world where we can't experience everything, we rely on indirect opinions to form our beliefs. These beliefs are not lies but a person's representation of reality. Human culture aims to make sense and establish order in a constantly changing world. Our fictitious order is based on expectations rather than knowledge and can result in chaos. This is why public opinions need to be formulated to facilitate decisions that serve the public at large. As the world is out of reach, it needs to be explored, reported, and imagined. The power of propaganda and social set. The impact of propaganda during World War I was not confined to the battlefield. The influence of military correspondents who wrote bulletins shaped opinions on the home front, with the French using propaganda to convey a war of attrition in Germany. Propaganda and censorship aim to instill a reaction by replacing one mental picture with another. However, people also have an internal censor and form their opinions based on their social set, which shapes their experiences and perspectives. This is why most people tend to make moral judgments rather than engage in critical thinking. Even educated individuals spend little time reading newspapers, and foreign news is often given less attention than financial news. It is essential to maintain an open-minded and unprejudiced perspective to be involved in public affairs, to avoid being influenced by propaganda and social sets. Scientific inquiry for effective global cooperation. The best way to achieve global cooperation is through scientific inquiry because it has the highest level of agreement on word meanings. In other areas, misunderstandings are common because words cannot fully convey a person's mental image, especially when translated across languages and cultures. The noise and chaos of modern life further complicate effective communication, along with internal conflicts and illiteracy. Despite these challenges, cooperation is essential to public policy and must include the support of those who are unable to fully comprehend information beyond their immediate experience. Stereotypes and perception. Our limited sensory systems, cultural influences, and the human need for self-respect all shape our perception and lead to stereotypes. Stereotypes help maintain societal hierarchies and are deeply ingrained in our notion of success. However, this one-dimensional view of progress can be damaging. Individuals can modify their stereotypes, gaining a fresher and more curious view of the world. The human perception is limited, and even eyewitnesses are not entirely reliable sources. People perceive the world through a cultural prism that shapes their idea of what they see. They fill in the gaps of their sensory systems, creating meaning and understanding based on their experiences and knowledge. This is how stereotyping works. Stereotypes help people define the world, and any attack on them can be unsettling. Stereotypes also serve a defensive purpose, maintaining societal hierarchies and reinforcing the human need for self-respect. The idea of success and progress in the United States is based on perpetual quantitative growth, but this one-dimensional view often masks the collateral damage that such growth can cause. However, individuals can modify their stereotypes by acknowledging and questioning them. By doing so, they can gain a more curious perspective on the world, rather than merely relying on preconceived notions. The key takeaway is that we must be aware of our perceptions and understand how they can shape our understanding of the world. The perils of stereotyping. Stereotyping leads to confirmation bias, outrageous conspiracy theories, and the oversimplification of complex social realities. People tend to seek out evidence that supports their biases and draw conclusions based on a limited sample. This is true in national stereotyping as well, where individuals make sweeping generalizations about entire countries based on their prejudices. The problem is exacerbated by the division of the world into absolute good and evil, which requires a simplistic and unrealistic narrative. Reporters and dramatists are inclined to reinforce stereotypes, but these do not reflect the complexity of social realities. A person's opinions and interests are shaped by more than their employment or status, and there is no universal class consciousness. The entrenched nature of stereotypes makes it difficult for people to consider alternative viewpoints and leads to a perception that those who disagree are unreasonable. In order to overcome this challenge, individuals must make a conscious effort to seek out diverse perspectives and challenge their assumptions. The power of symbols. In politics, creating a shared symbol is essential to unite people with different beliefs, and often, Americanism serves as a common bond. Leaders rely on powerful symbols, such as national identities or flags, to manipulate and gain support. Propaganda is not only limited to battlegrounds but also impacts democratic government. Conflicts give rise to obscurantism, resulting in superficial harmony. Mass action alone cannot achieve anything. A small group presents a binary choice clouded in symbols to gain support. Powerful symbols deflect criticism and manufacture consent. Ultimately, symbols are a potent tool in shaping public opinion and garnering mass support. The dilemmas of democracy. In a free and democratic society, every person is seen as a competent legislator and administrator. However, this notion is overly idealistic, as a collective public will, beyond that of self-contained communities, cannot exist due to people's limited access to their surroundings. The American Federalists realized this and designed the U.S. Constitution to limit popular rule. Thomas Jefferson managed to amend it to appear more democratic, laying the groundwork for today's two-party system in the United States. Nevertheless, no method has been found to solve this dilemma. Against a mishmash of self-centered opinions, the common interest has little chance. The book underlines that while most people care about self-determination, they care even more about having a good, peaceful, and comfortable life. In essence, what matters are the results, not how they are achieved. The disillusionment of news reporting. People's expectations of the press are misguided, as newspapers are primarily made for the consuming public and serve as a form of indirect payment through advertising. The press cannot provide the absolute truth, as it is hindered by personal biases and limitations. Local news and celebrity updates are more popular than accurate reporting, and the impact of an event is prioritized over its underlying causes. The press can serve as a check on democratic institutions but can also aid in taking advantage of social chaos. Ultimately, news and truth must be distinguished, and the press must be understood as a tool that serves a specific purpose in society. Politics based on facts. The author argues that political decision-making should rely on expert government research, professional audits, and fact-based budgeting instead of sensationalized news reporting. The author proposes a network of independent intelligence bureaus that apply empirical methods to social sciences to provide necessary data and analysis. However, there is a risk of these bureaus turning into self-serving bureaucracies, which is why separating record keepers and investigative experts from legislative and executive powers is crucial. The involvement of experts in public business is not meant to force beliefs but to dissolve stereotypes and help people make better sense of the world. The application of reason to politics is still in its early stages.
Having traversed the complex landscape of public opinion, we can now appreciate the delicate balance between reality and fiction in shaping our beliefs. Our understanding of the world is constantly influenced by propaganda, censorship, and the expectations within our minds. The immense power of stereotypes, biases, and the media all play crucial roles in shaping our perspectives on pressing issues, whether it is politics or social affairs. As we navigate this challenging terrain, Lippmann urges us to acknowledge and modify our preconceptions, fostering a more thoughtful and informed approach to public opinion. Only by doing so can we hope to create a better informed society and make decisions that serve the public at large.